The Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II, also widely known by the nickname A-10 Warthog, is a single-seat, twin-turbofan, straight-wing, subsonic attack aircraft developed by Fairchild Republic for the United States Air Force, USAF. In service since 1977, it is named after the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt strike fighter World War II, but is instead commonly referred to as the Warthog, sometimes simply Hog. The A-10 was designed to provide close air support, CAS, to ground troops by attacking enemy armored vehicles, tanks, and other ground forces. It is the only production-built aircraft designed solely for CAS to have served with the U.S. Air Force. Its secondary mission is to direct other aircraft in attacks on ground targets, a role called Forward Air Controller, FAC. Airborne. Aircraft used primarily in this role are designated OA-10. The A-10 was intended to improve on performance and firepower of the Douglas A-1 Skyraider. The Thunderbolt II's airframe was designed around the high-power 30mm GAU-8 Avenger rotary autocannon. The airframe was designed for durability, with measures such as 1,200 pounds, 540 kilograms, of titanium armor to protect the cockpit and aircraft systems, enabling it to absorb damage and continue flying. Its ability to take off and land from relatively short and or unpaved runways permits operation from airstrips close to the front lines, and its simple design enables maintenance with minimal facilities. It served in the Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm, the American-led intervention against Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, where the aircraft distinguished itself. The A-10 also participated in other conflicts, such as the Balkans, Afghanistan, the Iraq War, and against the Islamic State in the Middle East. The A-10A single-seat variant was the only version produced, though one pre-production airframe was modified into YA-10B twin-seat prototype to test an all-weather night-capable version. In 2005, a program was started to upgrade the remaining A-10A aircraft to the A-10C configuration, with modern avionics for use with precision weaponry. The U.S. Air Force had stated the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II would replace the A-10 as it entered service, but this remains highly contentious within the USAF and in political circles. 5. The USAF gained congressional permission to start retiring A-10s in 2023, but further retirements were paused until the USAF can demonstrate that the A-10's closed air support capabilities can be replaced. Development. Background. By the time of the Vietnam War, the 1940s vintage propeller-driven Skyraider was the USAF's only dedicated close air support aircraft. It was slow, vulnerable to ground fire, and relatively lightly armed. The development of conventionally armed attack aircraft in the United States stagnated after World War II. 6. As design efforts for tactical aircraft focused on the delivery of nuclear weapons using high-speed designs, such as a McDonnell F-101 Voodoo and Republic F-105 Thunderchief. 7. As the U.S. military entered the Vietnam War, its main ground attack aircraft was a Korean War-era Douglas A-1 Skyraider, a capable aircraft for its era. With a relatively large payload and long loiter time, the propeller-driven design had become relatively slow, vulnerable, particularly to ground fire, and incapable of providing adequate firepower. The U.S. Air Force and Navy lost some 266 A-1s in action in Vietnam, largely from small arms fire. 8. 9. The lack of modern conventional attack capability prompted calls for a specialized attack aircraft. 10. 11. On June 7, 1961, the Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara ordered the USAF to develop two tactical aircraft, one for the long-range strike and interdictor role, and the other focusing on the fighter-bomber mission. The former was a Tactical Fighter Experimental, TFX, intended to be a common design for the USAF and the U.S. Navy. 12, which emerged as the General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark, while the second was filled by a version of the U.S. Navy's McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. While the Phantom went on to be one of the most successful fighter designs of the 1960s and proved to be a capable fighter-bomber, its short loiter time was a major problem, as was its poor low-speed performance, albeit to a lesser extent. It was also expensive to buy and operate, with a flyaway cost of $2 million in FI 1965, $20 million today, and operational costs over $900 per hour, $9,000 per hour today. 13. After a broad review of its tactical force structure, The USAF decided to adopt a low-cost aircraft to supplement the F-4 and F-111. It first focused on the Northrop F-5, which had air-to-air capability. 1965 cost-effectiveness study shifted the focus from the F-5 to the less expensive A-7D variant of the LTV-A-7 Corsair II, and a contract was awarded. However, this aircraft doubled in cost with demands for an upgraded engine and new avionics. 9. Army helicopter competition. The Lockheed AH-56 Cheyenne appeared to offer the possibility of handing much of the tactical air-to-ground role to the U.S. Army. See also Key West Agreement and Pace-Finland MOU 1952. During this period, the United States Army had been introducing the Bell UH-1 Iroquois into service. First used in its intended role as a transport, it was soon modified in the field to carry more machine guns in what became known as the helicopter gunship role. This proved effective against a lightly armed enemy, and new gun and rocket pods were added. Soon the Bell AH-1 Cobra was introduced. This was an attack helicopter armed with long-range BGM-71 tow missiles able to destroy tanks from outside the range of defensive fire. The helicopter was effective and prompted the U.S. military to change its defensive strategy in Europe into blunting any Warsaw Pact advance with anti-tank helicopters instead of the tactical nuclear weapons that had been the basis for NATO's battle plans since the 1950s. 14. The Cobra was a quickly made helicopter based on the UH-1 Iroquois and was introduced in the mid-1960s as an interim design until the U.S. Army's Advanced Aerial Fire Support System helicopter could be delivered. The Army selected the Lockheed AH-56 Cheyenne, a more capable attack aircraft with greater speed for initial production. The development of the anti-tank helicopter concerned the USAF. A 1966 USAF study of existing close air support (CAS) capabilities revealed gaps in the escort and fire suppression roles that the Cheyenne could fill. The study concluded that the service should acquire a simple, inexpensive, dedicated CS aircraft at least as capable as the A-1, and that it should develop doctrine, tactics, and procedures for such aircraft to accomplish the missions for which the attack helicopters were provided. 15. The X program. The X attack aircraft concept. On September 8, 1966, General John P. McConnell, Chief of Staff of the USAF, ordered that a specialized CS aircraft be designed, developed, and obtained. On December 22nd, a Requirements Action Directive was issued for the AX-CS airplane, and the Attack Experimental (EX) Program Office was formed. On March 6, 1967, the USAF released a request for information to 21 defense contractors for the AX. 16. In May 1970, the USAF issued a modified, more detailed request for proposals for the aircraft. The threat of Soviet armored forces and all-weather attack operations had become more serious. The requirements now included that the aircraft would be designed specifically for the 30mm rotary cannon.